It was something that I needed to distract me from my reality and the pain that I was enduring during that time.
Hello, my people, and welcome to another episode of Sit, Sip, and Chat. If you're new here, Sit, Sip, and Chat is a show where I sit with different persons in the St. Martin community that have different things going on, and I bring them here so they can chat to you about it. My name is Glenda York of GCY Initiative. GCY Initiative is a destination marketing initiative based right here on the island of St. Martin, and this is what we do. Today, I have with me Miss Tamara Leonard, a force to be reckoned with in the St. Martin community. If you didn't know, you're going to find out today exactly how that goes. But before we get into our conversations, we got to do two things. First, we got to do a little introduction to our guest. So, Tamara Leonard is a retired St. Martin parliamentarian, an entrepreneur, and children's book author. And she's a former president of this St. Martin Chamber of Commerce. It was president, correct?
Yes, but I'm also a member now. I'm the vice president now.
Okay.
Just recently re-elected.
So he was the former president and now current vice president of the St. Martin Chamber of Commerce. We got to big up everything that she's doing because we're doing things. Her writing began during her second battle with breast cancer, turning adversity into creativity. Raised in St. Martin, she pursued education in the U.S. and discovered her passion for storytelling through her experiences as a mother and survivor. Tamara's books aim to uplift and empower children, promoting hope and positivity by teaching that setbacks can lead to comebacks. And I think that's a good story to try and get out there. And you guys, the setting changed up a little bit, but it's the same place. We're right here at Great Bay Media Studios. If you guys are interested, if you're a business looking to get some promo work done, if you're a creative looking for a space to just create and find your path, definitely check out Great Bay Media Studios located in Great Bay. You can contact them at greatbaymedia@gmail.com or at +1 721 542 7857. And we get all of that out of the way so we can have this chat now. You good?
I good.
Okay. I know this ain't nothing new to you. You just be in and out talking to people like ain't a thing while the rest of us trying to get our pace and you just go with that.
You never get used to it. It's always a work in progress.
Here we go.
Yeah.
That's good to take note of. Message to self. It's working as a continuous work in progress.
Yes.
So first off, because I feel like you're a popular face in the community, and several people either know you or feel like they know you. So what is something that you think that persons would be surprised to know about Tamara Leonard?
Well, first of all, to God be the glory.
Yes.
You know, to Him I gave glory for everything and every moment. So, to answer the question, what are some things that people would be surprised to know about me? That I'm shy.
Okay.
But when I have to get into character to inspire people, to get the word out of what I'm doing or to represent whatever entity that I'm a part of, then you just have to get in the role, you know. There is no smooth path or no direct, there is not a script, you know, we just go as it comes and you be your best and sincere self so that, because your story always inspires somebody else.
Yes.
There's always somebody who's going through something or somebody who wants to do something but maybe afraid to take the step. I'm a risk taker. I just take the step. I just take the step and you're either going to learn or you're going to grow from it. And so I think that while I am someone that is always catering, trying to help somebody be their best self and expose your potential to you, I can also be very shy, especially when it comes to talking about myself.
Okay.
Talking about accolades, talking about, you know, the things that really don't matter as much for me, but are necessary, that people know that the sacrifices you make to accomplish certain things add to inspiring others.
I got you. But we're going to talk about you a little bit, and then we're going to shift the gears, and then you don't got to worry about that. No? So, like I mentioned, you wore several hats in the community. And I know, other than that, you were shy on top of it. What do you think drove you to decide? Because, I met you when you were president of the Chamber of Commerce, and then you decided to take a step into politics, and then you decided to take the step into writing books. And there are other things I'm sure that we don't know because you're an entrepreneur as well. So that in itself is a level of assertiveness that you have to have. What do you think drove you to want to take on each of those roles?
I want to give back. I'm continuously looking for ways to give back because I am blessed. And we are not, people are afraid to express that I am blessed. You know, we live in a social economy where it's either people are there for you and are going to cheer you on and help lift you, but there's a big part of us that for some odd reason we have a problem seeing each other grow, and so we would do whatever it takes to pull each other back down. And so I am one of those people who's always trying to build somebody up, always trying to expose somebody to something, be it in the professional area, in your creative self, any way that you can. We are all placed here on this earth for a reason. We have a purpose, and we have to continue to pursue that blueprint that God has made for us. We have to continue to pursue goodness, continue to pursue gentleness, continue to pursue the things that make you eternally joyful, you know, love, peace. If we can focus more on that than worrying about what who think about us, or, you know, if I could, I would have, should have. You know, I try to, if it come in my heart, that means there's a reason it was placed there, and I'm going to pursue it.
Okay.
I'm going to pursue it. I wanted to give back to my country. That's why I became a parliamentarian. But I didn't just want to be a parliamentarian who is just a parliamentarian. I wanted to make sure by the time I exit, that I left something behind. And so that mission was accomplished, you know, as it pertains to my books. So it was something that I needed to distract me from my reality and the pain that I was enduring during that time. And so that it doesn't mess with my self-esteem, so that it doesn't mess with my thinking that my purpose is finished, or thinking that it's the end for me here. I needed something to distract me. And so scrolling through, it wasn't my idea to write books. Scrolling through TikTok, I saw it was a thing in the moment. And I said, well, I could do that. And it was a great distraction. But what I thought was a distraction was actually being obedient to God, because look at where we are now.
We're going to get to where we are.
You know, like,
get to where we are.
Exactly. So that's being obedient and striving to be better. Living your life in a manner that, you know, people are watching, and you have to decide whether it's going to be that you are going to allow who is watching to be inspired, or be selfish and allow who is watching to be disappointed.
I think I learned a bit about you in those few minutes. I mean, from the Tamara we know, I think we are seeing much more of who you are. And I think that is awesome. And guys, I know you think it's awesome too, but we're going to take a little break. We're going to have a sip, and we're going to be right back. Hello, my people. Make sure you tune in to Sit, Sip, and Chat every Monday at 5 p.m. on TV 15, and every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m.
And make sure tune in to the Late Night Show with Andrew Dick from Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. with a repeat in the afternoon for no reason. In the afternoon, the Late Night Show at 3 p.m. Thank you, TV 15.
Thank you, TV 15. Make sure to tune in.
Make sure to tune in to the Late Night.
And Sit, Sip, and Chat.
Late Night.
Remember, new episodes premiere every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. on TV 15 and across other social media platforms.
I'm Jasenia Lassiter, wishing you a wonderful week.
Stay friendly, St. Martin.
My people, we are back here with Miss Tamara Leonard, or should I say author, published author Tamara Leonard. We're talking about Tam Leo books. See all of these here published under Tam Leo books. And this is just a few. This is 3 out of 10 books. 10 books that she has published over these years, okay? And I think to write one book already, I don't know, but she have 10 of them. So here we have the latest one out.
Miss Shayna's
Thank
Big
you.
Voice.
Miss Shayna's Big Voice. We have Nyla's Anger Experience. And we have When Is Enough Enough? And I think the positive things about these books is that they aim, like she said, to inspire. If you have a child that is soft-spoken, if you have a child anger experience that doesn't necessarily know how to deal with their anger, what to do with their anger when they're experiencing it, and a person that just needs to talk up for themselves. I mean, it's there. It's in a way that it's easy for kids to want to pick it up and read it and relate to what's going on. Because I will say my daughter started to read this one and she was so excited because she saw Teacher Indira name in the book and her dance school in the book. And she was like, because she can relate, she knows the people that are in the book. And I think that was awesome.
That's the idea. That's the idea that when our children read them, now these books are catered to our children here in St. Martin, but also it can extend throughout the Caribbean and beyond. But the idea is that they realize that the things that they're growing through, even as children, they can read about it in these books and find ways to address the situations, and in some ways how to come out of their shell. They will learn the benefits of trying to manage your shyness, is the situation with Mishina's Big Voice. Also, with Nayla's Anger Experience, when our children find themselves doing things that would have certain consequences, they can read about it. You know, sometimes when parents speaking to you, you hear them, but you don't hear them.
In one or the other.
You also have the experience where you can be telling your child the same exact thing that somebody else nowhere going to come and tell them, and then they hear it. They should be able to read these books and also hear in the back of their minds, this is exactly what mommy was talking about, what daddy was talking about. And so there's consequences to your actions. We as adults do things out of anger. We act out of emotion sometimes.
Still learning that there's
and then we have to deal with the consequences. So if we can have these conversations, these real life conversations with our children, or if they can read it in books, then it should have an impact positively on their actions. They should be more mindful of their actions. When is enough enough? We are dealing in a situation now where our children, especially in high school, they are not thinking things through. They are involving themselves in things that not just affects them and their surroundings, but the country at this point. And so this book speaks about peer pressure, speaks about not getting what you want when you want it, speaks about managing your emotions, speaks about doing things that you know you shouldn't do and then having to deal. It even goes as far as a grandmother giving you, we don't listen to our elders. Times change. There's innovation now, so we don't listen. But at the end of it all, you can't stop but hearing the ringing message from your grandparents and your parents in the back of your mind. And these books will allow children to experience those things through the books that can help navigate them balancing their actions and accountability for their actions.
I like that because it allows them to come to the realization themselves as opposed to everybody nagging me, but they can come to those realizations that it's not just them and these are things that I go through. And the people around me might just be trying to help me as opposed to bother me.
Exactly.
They're trying to help me out. I think
And
that
they're
is
hearing it from someone else.
Yeah, that's supposed to be their age and like them, which is awesome. So what would you say has been your greatest, the greatest impact you've experienced with these books?
Well, so there is a balance. because for some children it's like, wow, okay, I got to try this out. And then for other children, I've read stories from me with children in the classroom who would say straight up, that's not going to work with my mother. It's not here now, but I have a book that's called Friend Mode is Our Safe Zone. And that book speaks about finding a safe space to share your every experience with a parent.
Okay.
So instead, because what happens is we become so strict and making sure our children do what we expect and how it's supposed to be done, that we don't realize that we're cutting them off verbally. We're cutting them off even with their emotions. They're not allowed to express how they feel because they can get in trouble for such. And that in years to come can lead to a lot of counseling, a lot of resentment coming from children to their parents. And so that book creates a safe space where children can share. We become friends in safe mode. But once in safe mode, I'm going to spill my guts to you. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm going to ask advice from you as to how to approach my mother, how to approach you outside of friend mode, you know, without getting in trouble. Because while I know that maybe I have crossed the line somewhere and did something that will not fly with mommy, I need to be able to speak to mommy about it. Because what happens is you have adults whose intentions are not pure. And when our children confide in them, that gives them an opportunity to start grooming them into what they want to do with them. In most cases, it's taking advantage of our children. And so once, friend mode is something that came about with my daughter and I. She introduced it to me because I was a strict parent. And she said, in friend mode, I want to be able to tell you everything. But when we come out of friend mode and we go back to being mommy and daughter, you can't not only not bring it up, but you can't hold me accountable for it. So that was a way. And in friend mode, the things that is finding out as a parent, you really have to know how you're going to navigate it outside of friend mode. And there are some people who think, nah, it's why I say goes, but it's what you say goes until those children get to that age where resentment starts to grow, where you are no longer their go-to, and where you can no longer control them. And so it's important that we look for different strategies to be able to help our children navigate life, because things has changed. Things has changed and the world is growing faster than we can think. And with the innovation of technology, that they can now find ways to solve their problems on ChatGPT, you know, we really need to find ways to connect better with our children.
Okay. Well, where do you envision Tamleo Books being in about 5 years? Where would you like to see it?
Well, we are on a mission right now to saturate Tamleo's book throughout the Caribbean, and I am at the same time now dabbling into Europe. There is a podcast right now that is growing. It's called Bite the Bullet. So we've made the choice to find ways to collaborate with them so that we can get our books out to Europe. The languages that are going to be, the books are going to be translated in French, Dutch, and Spanish so that we can reach a wider group as well. So the idea is that this is almost like a self-help line for children. And so the idea is to get these books as far out as possible, including America, so that we can be that support system for children without having to talk it in their ears. They don't hear it as often as they feel it when they read it.
Okay. Okay. See the books. Go find them online. Tamleo Books. Find them online. Get you a book. Then you can just slide it to your child. Let them read and let them come to you with the questions or statements that they have after that. I'm going to take a drink. Tamara's going to take a drink. We'll be right back.
What is it? Guess what? I got an idea. It's amazing. You see how we have the link sharing all everywhere?
QR link,
the
yeah.
QR link?
Yeah.
Raw Caribbean Channel app. Yeah. You're welcome. Put it in the back.
But it's not an app though. It's not an app. App, you have to like download something to get it on your phone, take up space. It's not an app.
It's like an app. Therefore, it can be an app. So, it's an app. Raw Caribbean TV app. Say it with me, Al. Come on.
It's not an app though. All you gotta do with that, it's a link. You take the link, you hit the bookmark, you say add to home screen, and so it shows up like an app icon, but it's not an app though.
Are you a real person? It is an app because you get to watch all the programs from Raw Caribbean at one place. It is an app.
I don't know how to explain this to you, but factually and technically, it's not an app. Kind of like We do the news, facts,
Yeah.
and you do that thing you do.
Whoa.
Point being, you just go to the QR, you hit bookmarks, and you hit add to home screen, and then you can have the link to, let's give it another name.
The app.
You want to call it the app?
Raw Caribbean TV app.
Jess.
Yes.
Jess, please, give some sense, Jess. Jess.
It's kind of like an app.
That's why she gets the big bucks.
It's not an app, though. It's not a f***ing app. What the f***? It's not a f***ing app.
You kiss your mother with her mouth? My God. Watch Raw Caribbean TV app.
Watch our Caribbean TV app.
Yes.
It's not an app, though.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais là? Qu'est-ce que tu fais là?
But sorry, no sir. They got this game tonight and I can't miss it. Me and my boy, we gotta watch the game, you know. So I bringing this in. You check? Alright, let me watch your leg go. Watch your leg.
Sir, sorry. Why so difficult? Look, I'm watching TV here on my phone with the Tell TV Plus app. You really gotta upgrade.
Okay, so miss, tell me about the Tell TV Plus. I hear about this.
Okay, so once you apply for Tell TV Plus,
Okay.
you can enjoy it anytime on the go.
Anytime.
Anytime.
On the go?
On the go, you simply download the app, log into your account at any time, sit back and enjoy. You will never have to miss your match.
Yo, bus driver, take me back to tell him now, please.
And we're back, my people. And before we move forward, management let me to know that if you are abroad, of course, you can purchase Tamleo books online. But if you are right here on St. Martin, you can purchase the books at The Vault. They have all of her books available for you. Just go visit The Vault and you can purchase any of her books in person. Okay? So, back to the conversation. So, we have the books. We got authors that join Tamleo Books. So Tamleo Books is a publishing company.
So let me just put it this way. Tamleo Books is not necessarily a publishing company, but because I use a platform to self-publish my books on KDP, and that's not something that is easily accessed to our people here. I decided to help others by publishing their books through me.
Okay.
The idea is that you self-publish your first, well, me, I'm up to 10 at this point, but then the idea is that you get to feel your book, you get to see what it is to think of a book, think of a storyline, the plot, the moral, you know, you write your book, you get it illustrated, and then you get your book in your hand and how that feels, you know, but then obviously, as you grow, you want to become more professional and ensure that your books are properly published and distributed. And we have House of Nehesi right here in St. Martin that we can use to publish our books. On that level, it's a little more expensive because it's literally free for me on KDP, but also we're doing it. So we're editing it ourselves, or we get a friend to edit it. We're doing the illustrations. I am sure that there is a proper, way outside of self-publishing, a more professional manner. And once we publish one or two, it's mine, so I can do all of mine there if I want. But I encourage people who I publish at least one book for that you can now, or two, that you can consider House of Nehesi, where we can now make use of our local publishing house.
There you go. There you go. You gotta keep it in use the people that we have. We have so many people that can do the things right here on the island.
Yes, we have, and so far I have Roy Quinton Marlin. He has his book, published a children's book. It's titled Nori's Super Dad. And we also have Steve Takes a Stand by Ralph Cantal, who also published that book. We have, for adults, we have Alicia Liverpool, that she also, Journey to Judah, she did her book as well, published through me. And yeah, so the opportunity is available for anyone. You have an idea, write a book.
Yeah.
Write it, check me. We're going to put it out there, and it's your responsibility then to market it. It's your responsibility then to make sure that people know about it. You know?
Idea to assist, but then afterwards you got to take it over and do what you need to do with it.
Exactly.
Idea with it.
Yes.
So now we have the books. We have the authors that are part of the book company, just say the book company. And now we're taking it to the schools.
Okay, yes.
We got the interscholastic, I don't know the exact term, the interscholastic
Skit competition.
Okay, the interscholastic skit competition happening, I believe, at the end of March.
Yes.
Okay, tell me how we come to a skit, because it's been a minute since we had skits.
Okay, so what happened is on my 10th book, I decided, okay, we're finally going to launch a book. And so instead of having a book launch, we had 10 books launch. And we made, because it's 10 books, let's do it a little bit different than just book signing. So we have a 3-part book launch.
Okay.
In December, we did a book signing and given that we were in the season of sharing is caring. And then we just, in February, on a sister program called Let's Talk with T, where I am also the host, we did a panel discussion on what it would be to have more locally written books within our classroom and by extension, as part of the curriculum. What would that do for our students? And, you know, where are we where literature is concerned? And it is something that we have to base on the innovations of technology. Our children are not picking up books to read as often. And more so, we do not have people who are writing enough. So the idea of that program was to expose where we are, where literature is concerned, and, you know, dabble into what can become if more people would write, you know. And it don't have to be storybooks also, but we have mathematicians on this island that can do arithmetic books. You know, we can find ways to, we have to start to do things from an independent perspective if we're going to be looking in the direction of the country. Everybody have to play their part. So if we can now find authors, create our authors for literature on every level, and then also for math, and also for, you know, whatever area we start to do it ourselves, it would be adding to the goal that we're getting to. So that was the second part. And now the last part, well, what we thought was the last part of the 3-part book launch is an interscholastic skit competition among all the elementary schools. We didn't get all the schools on board, but we have 8 schools that are participating, and they are the winner of that skit competition, and they will be depicting all of the Tamara books. So my books, Ralph's book, Quinton book.
Okay.
You know, each school got to choose a different. It was like a little lotto. They picked a book and a number, and then the book associated with that number is with the school would be making a skit about. So there's a special criteria, but ultimately there are several ways to win prizes, and the prizes go back to the schools. So our schools always need something. There's always something, especially in the literature department. We want to promote and contribute to that. So the prizes will go to the schools, and this way they can put those monies towards $5,000 being the first place. $5,000 will give the school will use that money to do something within the literature department. And hopefully we can make it a requirement that they give a testimony for the next year. But the exciting part about that is the winner of that competition will then compete against. We pitched the idea to Anguilla. They loved it. They're on board. We pitched the idea Stacia, they loved it, they're on board. We are still negotiating with St. Kitts, Nevis, and Sabre. So the idea is that at the end of October, beginning of November, we will have a small regional competition where all the schools will be competing in this skit competition. If we can carry that every year. It encourages our students to write, because outside of that, we're going to have a writing competition so that the schools can depict your story. We will encourage writing. We will encourage reading. We are now allowing our children to express themselves in those scenarios that we spoke about earlier that speaks to their identity and character. And so, yeah, it's just growing. So what I thought was a distraction is obedience to God creating a whole new path out of this.
And look at where it's going, because to see the skits, because I think on the island the theater department is not as active as it once
Used
was.
to be, yes.
But then to see it on the level of the elementary school kids.
Yes.
So now they can possibly discover another love.
Exactly.
In acting, like you said, in writing, in performing.
It's a whole new industry for us again, and not new, but we're enhancing and updating what we have so that we now are producing movies. We have the gentleman who just...
The wonderful
Peter
counselor.
Sagnia, who just did a movie. We also have another young lady that did... No, it started out as just a distraction, but it's going to impact our whole community.
There we go.
And that's the idea.
There we go. Well, this is your time. That is your camera. You're going to tell the people about this interscholastic competition that is coming up for the kids. When, where, how it's happening, and any little last inspiration that you want to show to the people, this is your time.
So I would like to encourage, first of all, businesses to participate in this interscholastic skit competition that will contribute to literature in our elementary schools. We are still looking for sponsors. We are looking for people to participate and make contributions so that our children can get the best quality of this skit competition. This is something that we would like to carry on for years to come, that can grow into so much more, especially since now we are opening it up to the region. So we are asking businesses to please reach out and contact us at tamleobooks@tamleo.com. That's the email you can use to say if you want to contribute. And I want to encourage all the alumni of the St. Joseph School, the St. Dominic School, the Irving Williams School from the French side, the Seventh-day Adventist School, the Genevieve, the Weaver School. So that's public schools of St. Martin. If you went to Orania, if you went to Genevieve, it doesn't matter which public schools, come out and represent your public schools. We have St. Joseph School on board, Sister Borgia School on board, the Seventh-day Adventist School on boards. So just come out and you support your school. It's going to be held on the 30th of March at the Port of St. Martin under the tent. So come out, support your school, because there's prizes for down to popularity. There's prizes for creative ways of identifying what school you want to. So design your shirts, do what you have to do so that your school can win these funds and they can put those funds into updating, enhancing our literature programs. Really looking forward to seeing you there. And as for you who have an idea, who know in your mind you have a book you wanted to write, write that book and just see us, and we will look into getting your book published. Once you meet all the criteria of KDP, we will help you publish your book. My books are all available, our books are all available on Amazon.com. You can get them at the vault and also at tamleobooks.com, or you can contact any one of us individually. Have a blessed one further.
Okay. She said all the things. Ain't got nothing else for me to say. Until the next one, my people, have an awesome day. Salud.